We had barely finished breaking down the new Predator trailer when the creators of the series Alien Earth presented a behind-the-scenes video with a long interview featuring the entire project team. And during the ongoing Comic-Con, the project's showrunner shared news about the second season and also revealed unexpected details about new species. So, in the next few minutes, we'll break down all the most interesting points. Let's start perhaps with the interview with Noah Hawley, who talked about how important it was to make the series close in spirit to Ridley Scott's original films. He also noted that the team's task was to make the first few episodes in such a way that viewers would immediately understand that this is the exact alien they were expecting. Naturally, the change in format and the shift from a 2-hour film to a series will require changes to the familiar narrative. However, Hawley is confident that they managed to preserve the atmosphere of the first 2 installments and convey to the fans the essence of the franchise they know and love. Without a doubt, the project will be groundbreaking for the series and will likely divide fans into 2 warring camps. Besides the change in format, the move to Earth implies an expansion of the existing universe and potential changes to the canon. This is what is causing the most concern right now. But let's not forget that the showrunner has excellent experience working on the series Fargo and Legion. Therefore, if he says he is trying to preserve the fundamental atmosphere of the franchise, that inspires confidence. Romulus turned out to be a success because it tried to use the format and concept of the very first film, with the addition of some extra details. As a result, the project was met with a rather warm reception, and a sequel is already in development. Alien Earth, according to the creators, is following the same path, so it has every chance to establish itself on our television screens. Since the series' plot is centered around a Xenomorph arriving on Earth in a crashed ship, it's quite likely that the first hour of the series will include some classic franchise tropes. And this is good news, because it means the events won't turn into a mix of science fiction and body horror. The Xenomorph will be present throughout the entire season as the main antagonist, and giving the audience a chance to feel the danger emanating from it seems to be the primary goal. The series format itself is trying to open new horizons for the franchise, offering a fresh perspective in the hope of breathing new life into it. The focus on various corporations besides Weyland-Yutani also introduces a political aspect, which is something new for the series. Noah Hawley stated that the first season is just a proof of concept. If the audience likes it, the story will be continued in several more seasons. And the showrunner already has outlines for a second season. The idea is for it to lay down a narrative model upon which a 3rd, 4th, and 5th season can be built. It's noted, however, that the first season will be more self-contained, but it lays the groundwork for potential future storylines. We've seen a similar approach from Hawley in Legion, where he told a complete story in the first season while simultaneously developing a plan for 3 more. Therefore, depending on how the plot develops, the series could either continue the story with the characters from Alien Earth or explore the suspicious Weyland-Yutani Corporation in more detail. This company has always been a key element of the franchise, and the setting on Earth opens up new possibilities for revealing its hidden motives. Emmy-nominated Timothy Olyphant will play the android Kirsch, who will act as a mentor figure to the main heroine. Although the trailers reveal little about his character, at the Comic-Con presentation, the actor stated that he shouldn't be trusted because he is clearly hiding something. Judging by the trailers, Kirsch is quite a vivid character, much like all the synthetics in the franchise. The showrunner has also previously hinted that he balances between being a hero and a villain, and has his own secrets. Olyphant's statement once again emphasized that the series preserves the spirit of tension, which is built on the fear of the Xenomorph and the betrayal of androids. Kirsch promises to be one of the most interesting characters, and he will surely play a decisive role in the plot. Besides the synthetic, the character of Morrow raises many questions. We weren't given a clear answer as to whether he is human. Judging by the available footage, he is the only one who survives on the crashed ship. At the same time, in new scenes, he disregards the crew without hesitation for the sake of a more significant goal. Therefore, he could easily be either a human who viewed the crew members as expendable or an android carrying out a secret corporate order. In new footage, he is seen sending a message that the entire crew is dead, and then placing himself in what looks like a protective pod. Furthermore, the new trailer also shows us other participants in the program for transferring human consciousness into an android body. All of them are children who are terminally ill. During the procedure itself, they are even shown cartoons to calm them down. However, it's hard to believe that the Prodigy Corporation's goal is purely altruistic. Its head, Boy Cavalier, clearly looks like a driven and selfish leader who achieves his goals at any cost. It's possible that only a child's consciousness can withstand such a procedure, but ultimately, these child synthetics will be sent to find the contents of the containers. We can also say a bit more about the spaceship that crashed. A new look shows that its exterior shape is very similar to the Sulaco from the second film. Apparently, it is a ship of the same class, meaning it possesses significant firepower and purposefully travels from planet to planet. In addition to the horrors, the heroes will find new forms of alien creatures on the crashed ship. In one shot, you can make out a victim with something resembling a tumor in the chest area. Initially, it seems to be a consequence of contact with one of the invasive organisms, and most likely, it is. However, the soldier looks as if his hands are tied to a post, which means someone deliberately wanted this contact to happen. Moreover, in the extended trailer with actor commentary, there is an episode where we see tied-up soldiers. They beg not to be left in that position, and the one who refuses them is Morrow himself. He is likely the hidden figure behind the ship's crash and will serve as one of the series' antagonists. Furthermore, we were shown a full view of the Xenomorph in good lighting. In general terms, it seems the design hasn't changed much, but some things still catch the eye. For example, its appearance, as many viewers have noted, has become more detailed, but at the same time, it feels artificial. The slime that covers it and drips from its mouth has almost disappeared, although in one scene, we see that it's still there. The Xenomorph seems to have become more sterile and glossy compared to the other films. However, its terrifying appearance is still palpable, and perhaps the change in its look will be explained by the plot. In many scenes, it's also clear that the creators didn't rely solely on CGI, but used full-scale practical suits. This is also a kind of tribute to the classics, a gesture of continuity that was also seen in Romulan. Apparently, there will be several adult Xenomorph specimens in this series, because it's already noticeable that they differ in size and color. It's no wonder we were promised a variety of alien variations, taking Earth's fauna into account. For example, in the chase scene, the Xenomorph moves like an animal and looks much smaller. They also reduced the size of the tubes protruding from its back. Again, if we compare it to the classic films, we can't ignore the detailed look at the so-called peeper. While previous trailers only gave us a description, now its appearance and manner of movement are shown in full detail. For some, it will surely become the subject of nightmares, because its tentacles look terrifying. And in the scene with the sheep, you can see how it has replaced the eyeball and is carefully observing what is happening. We are sure that the scenes of it penetrating a human will be some of the most memorable and frightening in the entire series. You've probably noticed that some of the dead people look as if all the blood has been drained from them. This means we can say that one of the new creatures operates on the principle of a leech. Besides, in one scene we see something similar when a leech-like organism moves across a newly arrived soldier. Just how great a threat this parasite represents is anyone's guess, but it will clearly become a serious menace. At the same time, we still don't know how the different alien species will interact with each other. Will they be hostile? Or perhaps we can count on a symbiosis of two parasites at once. It sounds very promising. Besides survival in the face of danger, Alien Earth raises themes of artificial intelligence and humanity. The main heroine agrees to the mission to find her brother. She later questions whether she will remain human in an android's body. This departure from the theme of fighting an alien threat was necessary to delve into the plot and explain the characters' motivations. The main thing is that one is not introduced at the expense of the other. But so far, the overall impression is that the series looks very good. And as you've noticed, the latest promotional materials have excluded any hints of a predator appearance in the project, despite the obvious connection to the hunting grounds through the containers of the most dangerous creatures. The Yautja will apparently steer clear of this madness on Earth. At most, we can count on a mention or a reference, but nothing more. In any case, in just 2 weeks, we'll be able to judge Noah Hawley's creation for ourselves. The first 2 episodes of Alien Earth will be released on the 12th of August, and then we'll have to wait a whole week for each new episode until the end of September. In the meantime, be sure to share your impressions of the new look of the alien and whether you plan to watch the series. That's all for today, folks. We'll see you in new videos very soon.